And welcome to our market update. If you watched this before, we had our buyer seminar, and now we're doing our market update. We do this every Monday and Friday, 4 o'clock. And what we do on this market update, we give you a chance to win, some knowledge, and we try to make it humorous.
And we try and avoid Vinnie's jokes.
Yes. If it's by the end of this, if we haven't at least touched one of those goals, give you the chance to win, throw some knowledge, and made you laugh a little bit, we probably
maybe cry a little bit too. We are, very sentimental and we look out for everybody here, so it's okay to cry.
Yeah, I don't know about the crying aspect of it, but if we make you cry, we might be doing something else wrong too. But let's go into the question. When was Qualcomm Stadium originally built? As you know, that's getting torn down right now. Tore down. But if you know when Qualcomm was originally built, please text us. And the first one to text us will win $50. All right. I'm going to keep that scroller going while we go over the numbers. Now, if you watched our market update, you'll know active properties have been kind of close about that 2,000 number. Pending properties have kind of trickled up a little bit, actually. So if you watch past market updates, you'll know that pending properties, that number has slowly trickled up. What does that mean? It means properties are taking longer to actually close on. So what does that mean? Maybe there's hiccups going on. So if you're not finding the properties active on the market, maybe have your realtor reach out to those listing agents and see if what's going on with their escrows. When we go to active properties, 3 million to 700 or 700 to 3 million, we're close to about double the amount of inventory pending compared to active. And then we talk about active properties pending. We're talking about, again, about 3 times the number. Once we get to the active detached under 700, about 3 times that number. And when I say 3 times that number, what I'm saying is that the pending properties, if the majority of those pending properties sell, right, that's going to give us the rate that properties are selling, right? If you look at this, if we're talking about half the inventory of active properties to pending properties, that means we have close to about 2 weeks of inventory. Now, if we're talking about almost 3 times the pending properties to the active properties, that means we're getting closer to about, a little over a week and a half of inventory, of inventory. So you usually want in a balanced market about 6 months of inventory. What does that say? It's saying that the market is crazy, the market is hot. Also look at coming soon properties. Why is that? What's going on with rates, David?
Well, I was going to mention I almost cried when I watched that meeting with China and the U.S. yesterday. That made me cry. And then the meeting with Russia made me cry. And the meeting with Iran made me cry. But you know what else made me cry, Vinnie? The bond market. Okay. And unfortunately, the data right now is trending towards, in the coming months, the new norm could be 3.5% to 3.875 on rates, which will put us right back where we were last year before the pandemic. Now, why do I mention this? Because if you're watching the 10-year Treasury, which is closely linked to mortgage-backed securities, it's at 1.70. Once we surpass 1.6, you saw rates on the upswing, and a lot of analysts are expecting us to hit up near 2. What does that mean? It means inflation will follow suit, rates will come up, and we may finally see a little bit of a cooling in the housing market. But as far as a cold shower with interest rates, right now, people, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but rates are slowly ticking up. And I hope this slows down, but I'm saying this because the bond market and inflation is unfortunately telling us that that's what's happening. So for those of you out there who are shopping for home loans right now or have a property under contract, lock your rate. Pay attention to the lender who's following financial details, because things can get ugly very fast. Similar to Vegas at 3 a.m. getting ugly. Don't be that person. Follow the data.
And if you took away that nugget right there that David said, you lock in the rate during escrow. Now, if you haven't bought a property before, you only lock in that rate when you actually get under contract, right? And when you're under contract, what happens is your lender and you are going to have that conversation of going, okay, let's lock in the rate today. Let's give it another week. Let's give it a couple of days. Give it 2 weeks, right? Based off of where they think the market's going. Now, if you're working with David and you're under contract, he'd probably tell you today, let's lock it in. Let's lock it in today, right?
Woo.
So having that communication with your lender is so key because you want to know when's the best time to lock in your rate.
Let's take a look at something, Vinny. If you went back 6 weeks ago, average FHA and VA was 2.25%.
Wow. So
average today is 2.75, 2.875, which is still phenomenal. Like, full disclosure, it's still really good, but that bird has flown away, my friends.
Wow.
That is gone, and your jumbo rates have gone up too. I know that we haven't touched on this a lot, Vinny, but your jumbo rates up to 6-7 weeks ago were at 2.75. They now average 3 1/8. And these are all loans with no points. And that's a big jump, but overall, it's still really good. So if you're getting a jumbo loan, which is, example, above 753 at 3 1/8, 3 1/4, it's still phenomenally amazing over long term.
Now, if you just joined us right now, we have the question. You see the scroller on the bottom of the screen. The question is, when was Qualcomm Stadium originally built? Why are we saying this? Because Qualcomm's getting torn down. San Diego State is building up a new stadium, everything there. And it's also baseball season, Padres season.
Oh, I thought you were pointing to your candle. I was like, you can't hand a candle to it, but you're pointing to baseball. Totally different.
Thank you. Now let's also, another thing we've been doing is been going over hyper-focused communities, micro markets. So this micro market is Golden Hills. So it's south of South Park, south of North Park, north of Sherman Heights. Now, Golden Hills, there's been a lot of gentrification. You can't see David's face, but he loves it when I say that term, right? So this community right here, there's currently 6 active properties on the market, okay, with 14 pending. Now, what did I just say with the whole, if not all those properties sell, how fast would it be inventory? We're talking about 2 weeks. Now, it's been pretty consistent beginning of the year, about 20 properties in the market, 20 properties in the market, 20 properties in the market, 19 properties. Sold properties, actually less sold properties now compared to last year and then the year before. And this is probably more so due with the gentrification that's happened in that community and the changes that happen in that community. That's why it's not as drastic that you're seeing in other communities that we've kind of gone over. So if there's a particular community that you want us to dive into, feel free to reach out to us and we can kind of go over that. But the market as a whole, it's a crazy market. Across the United States, it's a crazy market. Maybe we'll see with rates going up a little bit of a change to the market and people freeing up us getting to the red tier and things like that. So we try to keep this short and sweet, under 10 minutes. Again, the question was, when was Qualcomm Stadium originally built? I know I have got some text messages. I don't know if that's for clients or someone actually trying to get get the winning date out there. But whatever it is, if you know this, text right now. And thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Any last words, David?
I just want to throw out there that even though times are currently changing right now and it looks like things are going, downhill in the wrong direction, it's still a lot of time for opportunity. And when you buy a place, if you're going to hold it for the next 7 to 10 years, it's still a winning opportunity. If you're going to buy a place to flip in 2 years, please be very careful. And then also, when you talk to, your trusted realtor and you talk to your lender, make sure you explain your goals and needs for the next 7 years and that those needs fit the property, because I think we're going to have an interesting turn of events coming, Vinny, with rates rising. I think you're going to see real estate change a little bit. If the rates do reach back all the way up to 3.875 over the next 6 months, I think you're going to see a slowing down of the whole industry and people stopping, pausing, looking, and analyzing, and hopefully making better decisions.
Well, don't take a chance on what's possible. Feel free to reach out to myself or Dave, and we'd love to help you out with that process. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.